This video is about setting up proportions. And for this video, I'm going to use a couple of like little scenarios. And let's call it that scenario. Okay. All right. Scenario. Okay. Every box of crayons has 8 crayons. How many crayons are there in, we'll do 5 boxes. Okay, and I think probably, if you thought about it for a minute, okay, every box of crayons has 8 crayons. How many crayons are there in 5 boxes? I think you know the answer in your head right now. Okay, so you're like, why do I need to set up a proportion? Well, because I'm going to give you this other scenario. Okay, so here's scenario 2. Okay. Scenario. Every box of crayons costs 89 cents and has 8 crayons. What is the cost per crayon? Okay. So that's a little bit trickier. You probably don't have the answer just off the top of your head. So let's talk about how we're going to set these up and why setting up proportions with simple numbers helps us get ready for some more challenging numbers. Okay, so when you set up proportions, okay, you absolutely positively have to go with words first. Words first. And I'm going to explain what I mean there. Okay, like that is probably my biggest advice to you. Words first. Okay, so to do words first, you ask, what is being compared? Okay. So in my first example, every box of crayons has 8 crayons. How many crayons are there in 5 boxes? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's your things. It's like the things in your problem. Every box has 8 crayons. How many crayons are in 5 boxes? Okay, so your words are boxes and crayons. Okay, and go ahead and write that like it's a fraction. Okay, because now when you set up your proportion, as long as you put boxes on the top and crayons on the bottom, it's going to work. Okay, I'm actually going to show you that it will work either way. So down here, I'm going to compare crayons on top and boxes on the bottom. Okay, because the order really doesn't matter. Okay, so every box has 8 crayons. So in one box, there are 8 crayons. One box, 8 crayons. Okay, how many crayons are there in 5 boxes? 5 boxes. And then put your equal sign, because for it to be a proportion, there has to be an equal sign. And then there's your missing number. So there's your baseball. I'm sorry, there's your bat. And there's your baseball. Okay, so 8 times 5 equals 40. And the ball is 1. 40 divided by 1 is 40. So how many crayons are there in 5 boxes? 40 crayons. Okay, let's look at it here. Every box of crayons has 8 crayons. 8 crayons in one box is equivalent to 5 boxes, and then I don't know how many. Okay, here's my bat. Here's my baseball. 8 times 5, 40, divided by 1 equals 40. So my answer is going to come out the same no matter which one I put on the top, okay? So which one's on top doesn't matter, okay? Top, bottom, doesn't matter. Okay. Across matters, okay? You have to keep your things or your units the same going across, okay? These are all box numbers, these are all crayon numbers. These are all crayon numbers, these are all box numbers, okay? So the top bottom doesn't matter. What matters is that going across, you're seeing the same units, okay? So let's use the same process to set up our more complicated proportion, okay? So again, words first. Every box of crayons costs 89 cents and has 8 crayons. What is the cost per crayon? Okay, so I see the box here, but it's only asking me about, it's mentioning the box once. Okay, every box of crayons costs 89 cents and has 8 crayons. What is the cost per crayon? Okay, cost per crayon, 89 cents for 8 crayons. Okay, so I am comparing, okay, money to crayons. Okay, money to crayons. So I'm going to write the words first, and then I'm going to set up my proportion. Okay, so what's the money at first? The money is 89 cents, okay, and the number of crayons in that box is 8. Okay, cost is 89 cents for 8. Use my equivalent sign. Okay, what is the cost per crayon? Per means 1. Okay, so that's a little note to self. Per equals 1. Okay. If it doesn't say, like, per crayon, if it said per, like, 5 per, but really it means 1. Okay. So now for 1 crayon, I'm looking for the cost. And so the cost is what I don't know. Okay. So baseball, bat. Okay. Multiply the bat. I just said that backwards, didn't I? Bat, baseball. Multiply the bat. 89 cents times 1 is 89 cents. Okay. And then divide by the ball. Okay. 89 cents divided by 8. Okay. So now, okay, I'm going to have to do the math. So 89 cents divided by 8. 8 goes into 8 one time. I know my decimal's going to be there. 1 times 8 is 8. Okay. 8 goes into 9 one time. Okay. 1 times 8 is 1. Now, if I added a 0 and dropped it down, 8 goes into 10 one time. But with dollars and cents, I only go to the hundreds place, right? But I want to go ahead and know that there would be a 1 in the thousands place because it tells me what to round to. Okay, so with money, we'll tip money, round to the nearest cent or hundredth. Okay. So the 1 tells me to round down. So the cost would be 11 cents per crayon. Okay. So again, when you're setting up proportions using your baseball and bat, the top bottom doesn't matter. I would have come out with the answers the same if I'd flipped it and done crayons on top and money on the bottom. What matters is that across the top is money and across the bottom is crayons.